Hello, everybody, my fellow microdosers, my fellow friends that like to think, like to philosophize, like to work on themselves, like to work on their mental, emotional, and spiritual health, and just look at the world from a different perspective, or from a wide perspective, as the Dalai Lama would say. Don't have a narrow outlook on life. Have a wide spectrum, okay? When we have a wide spectrum, we're more open to receiving life's teachings. We're not here to slay life. We are here to let life slay us. Okay, my dad would always say, Bri, it sounds like you're getting slain by the spirit, okay, or creator, when we're open to receiving what the universe has to teach us without resisting. So welcome back, everybody, to another Micro Reflections for the 21st century. We are moving through week 9. This is passage 29. And again, I know you've all been listening. There's 36 passages in this book to help augment and amplify your microdosing experience, to give you a little bit of spiritual literature to start your day, to prompt healthy discussion or discord. None of this you have to agree with, right? None of this you have to accept. None of this, like, if it doesn't make sense to you, that is completely okay. That is the point here. But I am hopeful that some of this lands. Some of this shifts your perspective on the way you look at the world and the way you accept people, places, and things around you. So if you like listening to this, we'd love to hear from you. Support at medicineboxwellness.com. You can also click the link below this video on the landing page, or if it's in YouTube, you can find the link in our YouTube bio and schedule a call with me or one of my team members, and we can talk about the Mind's Eye starter kit, or microdosing starter kit that comes with a 30, 60, 90-day supply of capsules in the free micro tracker to really help track your experience through your personalized journey. We also have the 90-day journey back to you, which is a combination of the products, this book, actually, a nice, simple, journal, right? Nothing fancy, right? You don't need to be fancy all the time. Keep it simple. It's a pretty good rule of life. As well as the free community. If you haven't joined that, you can also click a link on the landing page and join the medicine and mentorship community. At the time of this recording, I think we have about 550 members in there, which is pretty awesome. Super grateful for that. The people that have the curiosity of microdosing, who want to show up for themselves and be accountable to their health and happiness. And then I do a weekly integration meeting with our customers. So it's not mandatory. You can come as you may. And that's on Zoom, and it's a 1 hour, and we talk about some of the topics that I read about. We break them down. We don't really analyze them. We just have a healthy discussion, and people offer their tips, tricks on how they are navigating their unique human experience. And you don't always get what you want in there, but you usually get what you need. Okay? And the people that show up are tremendous, and they have a lot of insight, and I love it. And if anyone is in those community meetings that's listening to this, one of my favorite parts of just holding that space and facilitating is really watching and listening to all of your progress. And I smile inside because a lot of the progress that you're all making, I'm not sure you even see it as much as I do. Okay, I see it and I hear it, and I hear the fluidity, the way you speak, and some of the concepts that you talk about, and how lively you are, and how open you are to receiving the gifts that are given to you for doing the work and showing up for yourselves. So congrats on that. Let's keep moving through here. You are a citizen of this planet. We are all responsible for creating a better future through meaningful service. Okay, I feel like this is part service to the folks that are listening to that, and it just warms my heart. And there is no one coming to save us from the mental slavery we are imprisoned in. Since when did the powers who be, those that govern us, poison us with their propaganda and take from us our care about spiritual agency in humanitarian issues? It is up to us as a collective whole to foster random acts of kindness, to be proponents of the kinds of values that will help create solutions to the ongoing problems facing humanity. Let us call forward the compassionate philosophers, thinkers, scientists, doctors, medicine people from all over the world to discuss these new experiences, those that recognize human value in the oneness of humanity. I'll repeat that. Those that recognize human value in the oneness of humanity. Hence, we are all interconnected. And it is all of our responsibilities to infuse happiness into the world. And Chris Prentice, quote here, there is only one way to achieve lasting happiness. That way is simply be happy. Don't worry. Be happy. Remember that song? That was no instruments. That was a great song. Musical genius, that man. Anyway, so this quote that way is simply be happy. Okay, and I understand that might be triggering for some people. Sometimes it's not that simple to be happy, but I want to remind you, even when you're feeling unhappy, you're still happy. Okay? It is not a black and white, okay, us and them. Remember, recognize human value in the oneness of humanity. So there's still a lot of happiness around us when the world seems like it is just crumbling, okay? And maybe parts of the world are crumbling, but we are still a citizen of this planet. So I'm going to kind of go through this super quick. And we are all responsible for creating a better future through meaningful service. And however that might be, think of the aspects in your life where you can show up for others or show up for the earth even, right? Pick up a piece of trash and do it without having to be validated for it. Just do it with a smile, okay? Reach out a helping hand. And remember, there is no one coming to save us. It is our responsibility to save ourselves, and it is our responsibility to find community to do that in, even though it is a very personal journey, but it can be very community-centric. And, the powers who be, I see so many people get so, maniacal over politics and policy. Yes, policy effing matters, but when you are so wrapped up in politics, or even your sports team that is going to the World Series or win the Super Bowl or the NBA championship. I mean, I have nothing against any of that, but they're not there to save us and bring us happiness. But we get so attached to those things. Okay? So Jerry Garcia once said that choosing the lesser of two evils is still choosing evil. That's how I see politics. Okay? There's no way around it. We need to have
we live in a capitalistic democracy, and everyone's really just fighting for POWER, power, and money, and power. Those people aren't coming to save us. They poison us with their propaganda and take from us our care about spiritual agency and humanitarian issues, right? When has there ever been a politician that has a compassionate viewpoint on life, or a compassionate worldview? Okay, that is greater than the need for power and control. Maybe there is. I don't know. I think of the Dalai Lama. But look what y'all did to the Dalai Lama because you didn't understand the Dalai Lama's tongue thing. It's not what you look at that matters, it's what you see. And I see cultural difference. Okay? And it rubbed a lot of you the wrong way, and you decided to tear him down. Jeez. Are you part of the propaganda? Anyway, that was a side note. It's up to us as a collective whole to foster random acts of kindness. Those simple random acts of kindness and doing it without validation have ripple effects in humanity, the oneness of humanity, and to be proponents of the kinds of values that will help create solutions. Okay, so how are we instilling these values in this maybe positive intentions into our life, to help create solutions? It's up to us to be the solution makers. We can't wait for policy. We can't wait for democracy. We can't wait for regulations. Sometimes we just need to go out there and break things and do it fast. And what is that old saying? Okay. Don't ask for permission, ask for forgiveness when we are creating solutions. And that is just like an entrepreneurial thing. So sometimes creating healthy businesses, offerings, service can really help create these solutions to the ongoing problems facing humanity. And some of the ongoing problems, the three forces that I see plaguing our collective humanity and our collective society here in the United States, is anxiety, depression, and addiction, which when you add up all three of those, that is likely a third, maybe more than a third of our country, okay? And the many people that live in silence and isolation that don't really speak of that. And then there's like the homeless problem and addiction. Let's just drop in on there. 100,000 people died in 2021 from overdoses. 70 million people were prescribed a prescription for ADHD medication. 70 million. And there's a shortage on ADHD medication. Why are we all so distracted? Why do we need that type of medication? Again, I'm not, I might sound biased because we support y'all in microdosing. I mean, it's definitely less harmful, but at least microdosing can help us unearth some of the things why we aren't distracted, why we are distracted, why we don't have meaning, why we don't have passion, why we can't get it together, why we can't focus, why we aren't creative. It's always underneath the surface that we need to get to, but we don't want to pay attention to that. So how are we creating these solutions to combat these problems? At Medicine Box, we think of, simply what we do is just create an alternative solution to mental health and an innovative solution to these problems facing humanity. But, in a big B-U-T, but, we can't do that without y'all. So we are calling for the compassionate philosophers, thinkers, scientists, doctors, medicine people. You are all medicine people. The fact that you show up for yourselves with curiosity, okay, because your curiosity will always lead to awareness, and that awareness is where we navigate into the deeper sphere of our own reality of transformation. So what does that leave us? Well, it leaves us to discussing new experiences. New experiences is nothing more than just neuroplasticity, right? You've heard that term. The window of opportunity when you're microdosing, a day on, 2 days off. Those 2 days off is that window of opportunity where you can create the new experiences, where you can get out of the rut, where you can say, I don't need to hold on to that anymore, right? I don't need that resentment anymore. That attachment is not serving me anymore. This resistance to things is not serving. This fear that I've been carrying is not serving me anymore. To discuss these new experiences in healthy community or with another person or with Creator, right? It only takes 2 people to have a meeting, and that meeting could be you and Creator, God, divine, the universe, the way, the absolute, whatever it might be. And for those that recognize human value in the oneness of humanity, I cannot stress that enough. We are all interconnected, even though we might not think we are, because that person is different and that person has different beliefs and that person I don't agree with, and that person is biased and a misogynist, and we start labeling all these exterior labels on people to classify them and indemnify them because we are different and we are not like them, but we fail to recognize the us in them and them to be us. We fail to recognize that as a collective whole. So we need to recognize human value in this oneness of humanity and just learn to be happy. And when we can do these things, we have a much greater chance at becoming happier, becoming more acceptive, and becoming less triggered and giving 0 fucks. That's all everyone else's stuff. But what do we do that's annoying? Probably a lot of things. What do I do that's annoying? Probably a lot of things. Where are my blind spots? Where are my character defects? Where am I acting out from my subconscious and projecting onto others? Sometimes we learn that in ourselves or the hard way, but we can also learn it in a community setting where we can be open to receiving some of this simple feedback, not advice, just suggested practices. So hope that lands, everybody. And remember, we, all of us are citizens of this wonderful, amazing, super planet.